Hi, I'm with Badger Basket, here to go through the assembly instructions for the bench top toy chest. Before we get started, make sure you look at all your pieces. If you have anything damaged or missing any parts, contact Badger Basket as shown in the end of the instructional video. Now, colors may vary, but the assembly will be the same, so let's get started. For step 1, you will need part A and part B, which are the right and left panels. You will need part C, which is the front, part D, which is the back, and part E, which is the bottom. You will also need 8 of the G screws. For this step, first what I'm going to start with is grabbing the right side. When looking at the right side, you're going to see a groove and then 4 screw holes here. This is going to go to the inside of the toy box. On the other side, you're going to see 4 indented holes. That's going to go to the outside. I'm going to next put on the back panel here first. So when looking on the back panel, you're going to see again that groove. You're going to see some other screw holes. You're going to see these inserts and then this wooden block. These are all going to go to the inside of the toy box. So when looking at it from the back side, you shouldn't see anything. This should be completely blank. So what I'm going to do is put this up like so. I'm going to put the right side on the end here. These 2 screw holes here are going to align to the 2 screw holes on the very end of this back panel. So when they screw into place, it should come together like so. So I'm going to screw from this other side here. And again, those grooves will line up together here, so you know that you have the right sides together. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a drill. If you also choose to use a drill, make sure you have the torque settings on low so that you don't strip any of the pieces. Otherwise, feel free to use a hand Phillips screwdriver. So once they're done and in, if I turn this so you can see, these were the 2 screws that I had just screwed in. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the front panel. Now when looking at the front, you're going to again see a side with a groove that's going to go towards the inside of the toy box. The side that is blank or has nothing on it will go to the outside. So now what I'm going to do is align these 2 screw holes on the end of the front to these 2 screw holes on the right side. And again, that groove on the inside should match all the way around. So I'm going to turn this around so that I can get this screwed in place. So now you should have the right side attached to both the back and the front. And again, this groove should be continuous on the whole inside. Next, what we're going to be doing is putting in the bottom panel. Now, if you have all the grooves to align to the inside, the panel should be able to just slide right into place. When looking at the bottom panel, you're going to want the plain gray side facing up. If there's a Badger Basket sticker on there, just have that facing down. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to tip this whole piece up. Just be very careful. Like so. This way I can just drop the panel right down into place and make sure it has a nice snug fit. So I'm going to put this panel in, the 2 grooves on the 2 sides here, and just slide it down. Now you're going to want to make sure that it's pushed down as firmly as it can be, to make sure that it's in this groove on this right side. So then we'll take the left panel, the left side here. One side you're going to see the 4 screw holes and the groove. The groove is where this bottom panel is going to go into place. The outside is where you have the indented screw holes. So what I'm going to do is put this up here on top and make sure that you have this bottom panel into that groove on the left side. And push it down into place. Now make sure that there's a snug fit between the front and the back side so that this panel sits flush. I'm going to put these 4 screws in, and we're going to get this all screwed into place. For step 2, you will need part F, which is the top. You will need 20 of the H screws, which are the small ones. You will need 2 of part I, which are the safety hinges, and 2 of part J, which are the hinges. So for this step, what we're going to do first is be placing the hinges on. When looking at the lid, there's one side that'll have 3 holes here and 3 holes here, and it'll also have this block. This is the side that we're going to be screwing the hinges into place. So first, when taking the hinge, you're going to see one side of it that has an L shape. The L shape is the side that's going to be attached to the lid. So we're going to put this L shape over the 3 holes here, so it looks like so. And then we're going to screw these 3 holes and screw the hinge down into place. So I'm going to do that here, and I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Once the hinges are in place, we're going to start to put the lid on top. So when looking at the toy box, there are 3 holes here on the inside, of which those hinges are going to go onto. Now, this block here will be facing downward, so when we open it, we're going to see the block facing towards the front of the toy box. It's easier if you have 2 people, one can hold the lid and one can screw into those holes, but if you're by yourself, I'll kind of give you some tips to make it a little bit easier. So when looking at the lid, we're going to put it in place like so. So these 3 holes here will be screwed in, and the 3 holes over here. Now what I'm going to be doing is kind of doing one at a time to show you how to do this by yourself. So first what I'm going to do is do this most outer hole here. I'm going to rest it on this block here and just tilt it up a little bit so that I can find the hole over here and screw that one in. Now do it a little bit loosely. We don't want to tighten this hole since I have to tilt it the other direction yet. So I'm going to tilt this up, find that hole, and screw this into place. But again, not too tightly. Then what I'm going to do is kind of tilt it the other direction. So just kind of pulling up on this side now to find this outermost hole and put that screw in. Now what I can do is tighten these 2 outermost screws all the way. From there, the other holes should all be aligned at this point. So we're going to put the remainder of the screws in. Like so. So next what we're going to be doing is screwing in the safety hinge. The safety hinge is what's going to help keep this door from falling. It'll kind of have a catch so you can hold it up and then pull it down. When looking at the safety hinges, you're going to see this spring on the end here. We want this spring to be facing towards the door. So you don't want to see the spring when you open the toy chest up. You're also going to notice that there's a longer arm here. This is what's going to be going upward. So you'll have the spring facing in and this long arm going towards the top piece here. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to screw these bottom 2 in here first. Then I'll kind of lower the door down a little bit. We'll pivot this piece and we'll screw it to the top. Alright, so we're going to align to this 2 bottom holes here. And we're going to screw this one into place. Like so. Then we're next going to do the same thing on the other one. I'm going to do both of them at the bottom at the first before we do those top ones. Again, make sure that spring is facing away from you towards the top, and then that long arm goes upward. So once you have both of those screwed into place, we're going to kind of lower the door down a little bit. And these top pieces can pivot. So we're going to want them to line up to these two holes on this top block here. And then we're going to screw those into place. So we'll lower the door down just a little bit, so that these holes can align. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other two. Like so. So now the door should kind of hold itself wherever you put it. And that concludes the assembly for the bench top toy chest. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact Badger Basket as shown in the next clip. Badger Basket thanks you for watching. Enjoy.